Hi, and welcome back to the show. Today's episode is going to be all about wireless and wireless companies. Wireless tips, essentially. So today we're actually speaking with an account executive at WorldLynx Wireless. Eric Escribano is joining us today. He's actually worked with large companies like Husky Oil, Pengrowth Energy and Superior propane, basically representing these companies for their wireless accounts. And lots of knowledge here on Eric's side, and maybe we can help us demystify this whole world of wireless technology and account control. Eric, thanks very much for joining us today on the program.
Thanks for having me, Kirsten. It's a pleasure.
Well, you know, here's a main question that always comes to us, is what happens when someone is dealing with an excessive roaming charges? You know, for example, a $50,000 roaming charge. How would you solve this kind of dilemma for a company, whether it be large or small?
Well, I mean, a $50,000 roaming charge bill is quite a dilemma. So when we hear about that from a client, we always have to figure out why did that happen? And there's always multiple reasons why something like that could happen within an organization. When roaming charges are anywhere from $1,000 to $2,000 to $10 to $50, it's always usually user lack of knowledge or administration kind of was unaware. The administrator within an organization was unaware of a traveler. So we use a lot of creative ways within WorldLynx Wireless to make sure that businesses are empowered to have full control over who's traveling, how much they're going to be charged, and even notifications when users travel outside of their home zone, if you will.
So it's mostly education, is what you're saying, to protect the company.
Yeah, it's education, but it's also implementing a lot of strategies through our business that a lot of organizations don't know about, that they have the power to use. A lot of them just say to their employees or to their staff, if you're traveling, tell me. Well, I mean, therein lies a lot of risk because not everyone's going to tell you when they're traveling, or they'll forget to tell you when it's too late. So there's a lot of tools that we can implement or showcase that will show administrators within an organization that so-and-so is traveling or so-and-so has travel plans in the next week or two, or even get notifications when someone arrives in another country, and then a protection kind of control is added on to that wireless user's device instantaneously.
Well, so what happens when it's too late? Like now you've got this big bill, it's come in the mail, and accounts payable has to deal with this, and of course down the chain of command comes all the screaming and yelling, and it comes back to the sales guy or whoever was on the road. What happens in a situation like that?
In that kind of situation, historically, we've seen a lot of companies get hit with a bill like that, and then they have to basically go and fight on the front lines with any wireless company customer service. And that's usually a messy battle. So what we do and what I do for a lot of my accounts is if they're ever hit with large bills like that, I would basically take all the information from them and basically go to war for them, if you will. Go and fight that and basically make the company understand what they did wrong and basically remove that large amount of charge down to a significantly less charge.
So do you have leverage with these companies? I mean, can you actually not threaten, but I mean, can you warn them that we'll move our business elsewhere? I mean, is that a tactic, or what do you do?
No, so we don't basically, we have a lot of leverage, but we only have a lot of leverage at a corporate level. So what that means is within a wireless company, whether it's Telus, Rogers, or Bell, they all have certain tiers of support when it comes to billing. And myself being an account executive for WorldLynx Wireless, we interface with kind of corporate channels within the organization that is not client-facing. So we can basically present a case for these larger companies, even for small, medium business companies. We can present a case of why did this happen within the organization, why the charge was so high. This is the steps we've taken to reduce their roaming exposure, if you will, and then the wireless companies are more inclined to work with us to bring that charge down. So it's very strategic the way we play it, but it's something that we feel the companies are entitled to. They're entitled to that access of corporate support, and that's what we offer.
And you're talking companies, small and large? I mean, what kind of companies would you work with?
Well, I mean, I work from anywhere between a company with 20 staff that all have wireless devices up to 6,000 to 7,000 staff that all have wireless devices. So it's anywhere in between I really feel it's a level playing field for any business that uses wireless devices. It doesn't matter if you've got 20 or 6,000.
Yep.
You're all entitled to the same amount of support, right? And that's what we offer.
Equal opportunity. Okay, so this sounds actually like quite a strategy. Well, what other cost-saving strategies do you offer businesses? So, aside from this particular case of roaming issues.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we offer a multitude of things. So a lot of the times we find that companies become complacent. So they have a wireless bill and they just pay it. There's not really a high level of administration within an organization to comb through each individual wireless bill to see if they're actually getting the right features and price plan for their wireless device and their wireless fleet. So what we do is we do kind of a monthly kind of account review for every single company that we do business with. And we provide them with reports on top users, top voice minutes, top data, top texting, all the kind of stuff that they don't have the time to go through. And we kind of notice the anomalies and we inform them of the anomalies. Hey, this month or these 2 months, it looks like your long distance is a lot higher out of the time of the year. And that's probably because it's either a holiday season or it's Christmas or New Year's or something. So we proactively would let the client know that historically in the last year or two, we've seen your usage spike in these 2 months and nothing's been done about it, and you guys are just kind of handing the cash to the wireless company. So we would proactively add on strategic long distance packages. This is just an example of long distance, but strategically add certain features that would help the company to just alleviate those extra charges that they might not be paying attention to, right? They're not aware of those things. So we really bring the awareness of the wireless environment of the company to the forefront so that they can address these things before they have crazy bills and they start talking about canceling and switching and stuff like that. So, yeah, just so that's really about it. I mean,
okay, well, but you got to make your money somehow. So, how much is all this going to cost somebody to hire your strategy session? I mean, we're talking about like a serious expense here. Or?
Right. So, like our services, the way I position it is, there's really no cost to the things I'm speaking of. So the account, and I know that's hard to believe, but for WorldLynx Wireless, I mean, we deal with a certain carrier, and the business is with that carrier, and then our services is really just a value add. So I'm the first point of contact for escalations. You never have to call 1-800-HELP-ME, whoever on the other end of the phone who's never touched your account or never seen your account. To back me up, we've got account managers that kind of are dedicated towards the company's accounts. All of these services are at no cost, no additional cost to the business or enterprise that is subscribing to the wireless service. I know that's really kind of hard to wrap your mind around, but it's something that is the dream of our business, to provide that equal level playing field and corporate support to the companies that really want to put their faith and their dime towards a wireless provider. So I mean, there's really no cost other than the regular Bell or Telus or Rogers bill. That's just the cost, and this is the value-added service to that subscription.
Got it. So it basically a full service, full service agency is what you're talking about.
Absolutely.
Well, fantastic. Well, Eric, it's great to have you on the show. We'll get you on again. We'll look into more stuff. I'm sure there's some really interesting stuff out there that's interesting new innovations that are happening in the industry. I know there's been a lot of talk about new carriers coming into Canada. We'll bring you back on the show sometime real soon. I'm sure you'll have a lot to offer. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much, Kirsten. It's been a pleasure.
So we've been speaking with Eric Escribano. He is an account executive in Western Canada for WorldLynx Wireless. Stay tuned again real soon for our next show. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again real soon.